All right, team. This is your host, Charles Becco from Brooklyn Traders, and today we are here to talk about your favorite subject and mine's the stock market. Let's get to it. All right, so here's the tail of the tape, right? Pretty much since this peak in July, we've just kind of been going lower and lower and lower. We kind of bounced off this support level of 410, 412, which again has been readily established, okay, since way back where. Stretch this out. Yeah, as you can see, this 411, 412 level has been very key. As you guys know, most of these levels they've just been here, okay. These are historical levels. I just stretched the chart back, was it 3 years? And you can see the 410 is very, very vitally important on SPY. And so stair step up, kind of a quick stair step down for the last 2-3 months. And as soon as we hit that level, we bounced just like a basketball. And not quite at all-time highs here at 479 or 480 on SPY, but I mean, guys, to be in the kind of environment we are, with the interest rates where they are, consumer spending is keeping up, but, you have $1 trillion of credit card debt. 3 out of 4 Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And, you see signs of a tightening economy, right? Hey, but we're here, right? The stock market is not representative of the economy, and so that is always very, very important to keep in mind, right? So, there's really only 2 possibilities, right? It's either we go to all-time highs, which is what some people are expecting, especially with a Santa rally, or, again, we hit this level up here, 459. Let me should put something there. What shit? Okay, you know what? I'll just take this line. I'll create a new level right for you guys, because that does seem like an area of contention here, right? And so, yeah, right up there. And my thoughts are this, right? Everyone is expecting a Santa rally, right? And I just feel like when everyone is expecting something, it just kind of sets up the kind of environment for you to be disappointed, right? Especially if everyone's positioned in exactly the same way. And so here's what's a little troubling is you're forming a bunch of dojis up here, close to a major resistance level, right? So just be mindful of that, again, the thing that everyone is expecting could just not happen, right? And so you can just tell by the chart what's been happening, right? Pretty much as we kind of gap higher. Is this a gap here at the 418 level? Let's see. Yes, there's a gap. I mean, good gracious, like gaps galore, right? Some of these levels I have to kind of change because these are gaps that closed before, but yeah, I mean, team, these are open gaps, right? And so if I'm a bear and I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, there's a gap here, there's a gap here, there's a gap there, here a gap, there a gap, everywhere a gap. I'm thinking that these gaps are going to close very soon. And so what's happening is I really haven't been following the news as much as I used to. Again, I'm kind of in sage mode right now, as you can tell from these videos. I kind of come in about once a month. I'll look at the market, see what's good. I make some buys long term, and that's it. I'm not day trading as much anymore, which is not like an unfortunate thing. It's just kind of a transition in my stock market journey and career, right? So I'm making fewer moves, but I'm making much better moves, holistically, right? And so about this, again, as somebody that, again, when we were last review, right, we were around these levels. When I'm looking at this, it just seems like, not to say that we can't, but it looks like we're setting up to fail a little bit. I mean, you have the RSI here reading pretty hot. You got the MACD that looks like it wants to cross. I mean, it's touching, right? So if you see, especially during the holiday season, you see that kind of like the the volume is going this way. I mean, obviously the bias is more towards the buy side, but you can kind of see like the volume's looking pretty thin here, right? So we're not having a bunch of high volume days here, and so yeah, I would just be concerned, for the bushwhack or the rug pull here on the market, right? So look again, that's SPY. Let's look at Qs. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same or similar. Okay, Qs look a little better, right? We seem to have crescendoed over this peak. But again, look at that MACD, right? We just talked about it, okay? MACD, but look at this. The last couple of trading days below average, okay? This line represents the average, below average volume, right? And again, it, respectfully, leading up to Thanksgiving, much of Wall Street taking a break, people are going away. But again, here goes the volume, right? There goes the MACD. And here goes the RSI, right? So, do we hit all-time highs? We could. I mean, guys, you're one Jerome Powell statement away from an all-time high, right? So, I can't say that it doesn't happen, okay? What I'm just saying is that the risk of being disappointed is not zero. Okay? I've been, I do read and I study my colleagues' work, and I do look at the major stock market influences in the market, and I do listen to their stuff. I am subscribed to their stuff, and I do support them. Yeah, everyone's expecting a Santa rally, right? Versus stone throw and just take out this high. But, guy, you just have to be very careful, okay? Guys, it could happen. I mean, this looks good. I mean, being at around these levels is way better than doing this. I mean, look at this. Again, doji, 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 doji. These are all dojis. Looks like a kind of a hammer, but that's a doji. Okay, you see like a little tiny wick there? That's a doji, guys. This is a huge doji, right? So a strong rejection off of that 393 with a lower doji forming. This is a bearish pattern. Okay, right here. This is it. Okay. Again, I'm not saying it can't happen. Just if you're looking to like add to a position or jump in, maybe we want to close some of these gaps first. Maybe what you want to see, right, is, gosh, I haven't used this in so long. Maybe you want to see like one of these, right? You want to see us kind of go from up there to down here, Let me just kind of, okay, like that, All right. I mean, you guys get the point, right? Okay. This isn't Zoom. I can't just draw on the screen. I know there's an annotation tool, but I'm just using Thinkorswim. Guys, anybody got time for that? You get what I'm saying, right? You want to pull back down to these levels, basically, right? And so there you go with the Qs. Let's just go through the names here. TSLA. This is uninvestable, guys. I mean, untradeable. I mean, no, you don't want to be messing around with that. I'm not even going to review this. Like, just look at the chart. Ooh, Microsoft fresh all-time high, right? Again, so here's something that's good, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of AI stuff. I think Sam Altman briefly joined Microsoft over the weekend over that Sam Altman drama. But if you look again, right? Again, just overbought, MACD crossing down, lower than average volume here. It's looking pretty toppy. I mean, guys, to make it all-time high, what I'd like to see here on Microsoft is for us to kind of pull back here to 357, 344, which is a 21 and the 50, and then bounce like a basketball for a March higher. For a very long time, Microsoft didn't do anything. I remember, I started my trading journey in the mid-2000s, and I remember, man, where Microsoft was just like this for years. I mean, just years. Just like, it's like $35-40 for like years, right? And then, now, especially since the pandemic, there you go. So that's Microsoft. Microsoft looks good. Just wait for a pullback. Don't get clapped up there. Okay, that's Microsoft. What is going on? It's Microsoft. Let's look at Apple. Okay, Apple is another one of those names, guys. Oh no, I think I got disconnected somehow. Yeah, all right. So, we had a major technical snafu. My internet got knocked out for like a day or two, And so I was recording that video, I believe it was on the weekend. I think it was Sunday or Saturday. Anyway, yeah, the internet got knocked out, and that was whack. But yeah, anyway, we are back up and running. It is Tuesday, November the 28th, and we are looking at Apple. And yeah, this bearish pattern just basically played out. I mean, today is what, the 27th? Right. So come Friday, the short pattern actually came out on Apple on Friday here. Okay, but again, we're up close to the third ATR. Short pattern came out, but we're still holding tough up here. Okay, so we actually have a short pattern on Apple on the daily time frame, but the underlying is just so damn strong. Oh my gosh. We almost printed out a weekly sell signal on Apple, but again, we just fixed ourselves, right? And so the hourly looks bearish. The daily definitely has this topping pattern here that's bearish, right? So that's Apple. Let's look back on Microsoft. I think we just looked at it, but yeah, all-time highs today. I mean, guys, it's hard to want to be short this market when stuff is doing this stuff, right? So that's Microsoft. Let's look at Netflix. I mean, my goodness. I mean, not all the way up here, but my goodness. I mean, talk about a chart that really fixed itself, right? I mean, my goodness, Netflix. This looks good. Let's look at Tesla. I know we looked at Tesla again, but again, let's just take a look. I think Tesla, I mean, you know, you have this MACD curling here. You're about to have maybe a MACD crossover, but I'm not really sure. This is still a bearish signal on the weekly time frame here on Tesla. Just the daily just looks like hell. There's just too much going on. Not the cleanest of setups here on Tesla. I mean, it looks like we were kind of a stair step down, but this may be a break of trend. I'm not really sure. Again, let's look at QQQ again and SPY. Again, they keep rejecting. You see, the problem with the Qs, right, is if you had to close below here, right, which we had an opportunity to do today and the day before, yeah, we would be in a short setup, but that's just not the case with the Qs. We are seeing weakness on the hourly time frame, but still kind of strong. SPY. Same thing with SPY. Again, very strong. Very strong. I mean, you can see this big cup and a handle here. I mean, again, this could be a little double top here, or on the weekly time frame, this could be a weekly a weekly cup and handle here. It's kind of a broken cup and handle. It's not perfect, right? But no pattern is ever perfect, right? All right, let's look at Square. Picked up some Square shares recently, and I picked some right down here. And yeah, Square is looking. I mean, we're looking pretty decent on the weekly time frame, right? I mean, yeah, we're not all the way down here, but team, this is something that you should be buying some of right now. Baba. Again, guys, Baba is just another one of those names, team. You really want to be buying Baba, okay? You do. I don't care what earnings say, okay? Baba supplies the world. You want to have some Baba. Let's look at Amazon and Google. Amazon hanging tough, boy. Could you imagine it was a couple weeks ago Amazon was at 81 bucks, now $1.50? Amazon looking good. Okay. Done told you guys to cop some Amazon when it was at 100. You know what I mean? So Amazon's looking good here. Yeah, I mean, the hourly looks a little weak. Actually, if we have a close below here today, okay, if we have some evening weakness, well, shoot, it's already 356, right? So it's not going to happen, but if for some reason we're able to close down there, which is only, what, 11, 12 cents away, I mean, it's possible. We could, guys, we have seen a flush, like, right at close, right? I mean, we have 4 minutes left. I wouldn't hold my breath for that, but there is a short setup here on Amazon if we get a flush into the close. Definitely got this. Yeah, we got a clear bear signal here on Google, but team, when things is, when you have a clear bear signal, I mean, look at this. Huge red candle down, huge inverted hammer with a wick, and then you got this strong, like, big hammer, right? And then you have some of the indicators strengthening up. I mean, it just doesn't seem like it wants to go down, right? I wouldn't still not buy up here. I would still wait for a retest of the 50. But yeah, that's Google right there. And I think we're through the list, right? We have one more name there. We got Meta, and then we have NVIDIA. Yeah, bearish signal here. But again, team, like, the bearish signal came out on Monday. All right, so you get a little push down there, and then a huge candle that looks to want to engulf the previous one, right? And so, again, guys, it just looks. I'm trying to make the bear case for you bears, but it just looks so strong, man. These charts just look too strong. I mean, you are in a bearish setup here on Meta, and don't get me wrong, you could turn around. You could hear some bad news from Jerome Powell, then or someplace else. Then you get the rug pull, right? But Meta looking so strong. Could you imagine that earlier this year, Meta was not earlier this year, but late last year, Meta was $90. It is $339, y'all. My goodness, whoo! Pop the Molly. I'm sweating. Look at that. This was a gift, a straight up gift. That's why you gotta buy things when it is low. I mean, guys, it's going to be super hard to be making the bear case, but I would say most of the Qs were driven up all these months by just AI insanity, right? And so, most of the market was betting on names that would benefit from AI. That's why Meta, Microsoft, Meta and NVIDIA, had such an insane run here. Do we have a weekly short setup here? Okay, so we have the potential for a weekly short setup here on NVIDIA. Okay, you want to see it close below that level there, 476 for the week. You get that, and then, you'll have a weekly short setup here. I mean, so here's some divergence, right? I mean, you have the MACD crossover negative, but we're still reading positive there. Those are all my alarms letting me know that it's 4 o'clock. You do have hourly short signal here. And you've been in a short signal here for a couple days here on NVIDIA with a MACD cross down. So you have a MACD cross down on the daily. You already were in a technical short setup here from up here. I see like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I see 4 short signals here on NVIDIA, right? So, again, we have different indicators that are telling us different things, but they are more telling us that it may be time to bail on NVIDIA. It's looking a little double toppy up here, right? I mean, you could also look at this as an inverted head and shoulders on a weekly time frame, but just for right now, let's let this thing come in a little bit. I mean. And I think that's probably going to be my general feel for the market, right? Right now, I mean, does the underlying look strong? Yes, it does. Do we have some fundamentals, at least from corporate earnings, to back it up? Yes, we do. Are we in the best of environments with interest rates, with political uncertainty, with 2 wars raging around the world, with $1 trillion of consumer credit card debt, with somebody said that there's a new strain of COVID out. I mean, there's just things to be concerned about. Okay, it's not time to just go legs up. We're just gonna go to the moon. You have to be careful, right? So me personally, before committing any capital to names, some of these big names, I think the easy buys are gone, for right now. I mean, again, Meta at 100, Amazon at 100, Google at 100, Tesla at like, what, 200? Let's see how low Tesla went and got, during that whole thing. Yeah, Tesla at 100. I mean, guys, these easy buys are gone, right? It's time to start putting your thinking cap on, so just stay frosty, watch out, don't get clapped. This is Charles Becco, and you have been listening to Brooklyn Traders. If nobody told you that they love you, I love you. Take care. Hey, thanks for watching. Please follow us at Brooklyn Traders on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Happy trading, y'all. Stay safe out there.